All right, so down on the property, it is Monday, May 4th. We got, the tree guy was here for a few hours this morning. He got a bunch of stuff down. He's supposed to be going and talking to an Amish man who potentially could come out and buy some of this wood. So that would be nice. They did a lot. Part of the beast down. This was where I was setting up camp right here. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Let's see what else we got. Walking on a tree, so I gotta be careful. We got all this over here clear. He started going that way too. And they got a bunch down over here. Let's see where we're going. This is not fun to walk through right now. Trying to look out for poison ivy. Oh, they got a lot down over here. Okay. I'm gonna have to fly over and get this with the drone. So he thinks he did about an acre, which is awesome. I believe him. I've never even walked this part of the property before. This is all first time me seeing this part of the property. See a bunch of bumblebees. I was fortunate enough to get some shots from the sky before I crashed my drone later this day. It has since been shipped off for repair, but it's fun being able to get a bird's eye view of JR taking down a lot of these trees. He's very good at what he does, and he keeps everybody safe. All right, new day. It is Tuesday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yesterday there was some issues with a couple trees getting cut down on my neighbor's property. So I'm gonna go through and clear the hard line that is the property line and run twine again, just so everyone's completely aware of what we're allowed to cut and what we're not. I really don't want to make anybody down here mad. So I'm gonna get to it. But this was the big part of the property I needed done. I got a hook from this one to that one, and then it cuts that way towards the road. I'm hoping I have enough twine to get that done. We will see. I'll probably just salvage some of the old stuff if I don't. Keep you updated. All right, I got all the pool line up for the perimeter. Now I'm going to attempt to this bank into wildflowers. My plan is just to take it real short, rake it, and then broadcast a big bag of native wildflower seeds along the higher portion of the bank. I understand that the gully probably nothing will grow in, but I'm gonna see what I can do just to pretty it up a little bit. Wish me luck. I never thought about raking being difficult. I've only made it that far with down to that mailbox to go. I'm tired. It's on a hill, so like it's about a 3-foot hill. I guess this doesn't really show on camera. Yeah. Getting it done now. And then I gotta do a pass with the lawnmower, or a couple passes probably. Get it as short as I possibly can. And then rake it really, really well again. Right now I'm just trying to get rid of all the big sticks so I don't mess up my lawnmower because I'm using a push boy. But let me get back to it. That was a much needed 50-second break. So I've never just broadcasted anything before. This was completely new to me. So when I was cleaning up the strip of grass here, I was really thorough on getting all the sticks and leaves up the best I could. It's a pretty decent slope, and I was just using a small metal yard rake. I really kind of just laid it on thick and praying for the best. We're in a drought. We're about to get, I think, 5 straight days of rain though, so hopefully it really helps these things take off. I have a bunch of marigold seeds I plan on planting that I have left over from last year's marigolds up at the house I live in now. So I'm hoping to get them spread the rest of the way. All right, I'm wrapping up down here. I broadcasted the entire bag of wildflower seeds I got from the start of the property down to about where I think the arborist is putting the access road for the Amish guy to come pick up any wood that he wants, and obviously for him to get his equipment on and off the property. I don't know if it's going to work, but I wanted to give it a shot to at least make it look a little bit better for the time being. My realtor gave me those seeds when I bought the property. Thought that was very nice of him.
I did not plan ahead for this at all because I found out about field day being canceled for the parents late last night. It was a very last minute change. So my method for getting these seeds out is painstaking. I've seen people use other methods, but I just didn't have time to set up with cooking breakfast and just trying to get down here before the arborist this morning. So I'm just taking my heads and then basically just pulling the seeds out and dumping them into a separate vessel and then chucking these out the car window where I park. So I'm probably going to have a bunch of marigolds here where I don't want them, but that's okay. And yeah, so messy.
It is absolutely insane how fast that thing moves freeway. I mean, it's insane. Womp womp. What? All right, so we are wrapping up work on Friday, the 8th of May. We have our little access point put in. We're putting apparently like an oak plank bridge thing here just to make it a flat surface for getting in and out and getting rid of those two stumps. But everything for the mill is here, and that pile's there, which is large. So let's walk around and see what we got. I mean, obviously this was all woods before. That's all firewood. That's all sellable wood, allegedly. I mean, all that's still down. It just needs to get collected. All that's down, just needs to get collected. I mean, this is wide open now. I can't believe how much of a difference this made. Over here is where I would always set up camp for when I was working, right here. So all that still needs to get cleared because that tree is the property marker, basically. That one is the end of my property. And we're just wide open. It's so nice. Check it out. Looks like my wildflower seeds germinated. Let's see if it lasts. Looks like it's going in the money pile. All right, I'm down here on Sunday the 17th. It is supposed to be the last day of clearing trees. And then I just have to do stumps. I'm very excited. We're going to be down here until sundown, I believe. I'm picking what trees I'm keeping. There are a few white oaks that I absolutely love. They are very tall with a high canopy. I'm seeing mixed things on keeping them in hedgerows because of how big they are, but I think because they don't have any low limbs, should be okay. And they're just too pretty to cut down. They're huge. So I'm gonna get to it, see if he needs help with anything, and then get some video. I'm really excited. All right, so I'm standing in one kind of corner of the property here. There's the property line going that way. That string. That string. They're all working over there. That whole, more than half the property is clear. Almost completely clear. So, huge progress. Going to be done today. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Don't do it. I'm trying to make it the other way. That was a good save. No way. That is a swinging vine of poison ivy.
The whole tree's wrapped in it. No thank you.
Felt that. Alright, entering the property. This is the path we always took. That's all the way down, 370 feet that way to those trees. Huge pile of wood chips. Well, didn't end up finishing today. We're working for another hour and a half, but we're gonna come back tomorrow. But it's close. That is at about 11 feet high, maybe 12, just as wide and longer than that. The monster tree is still here, but those trees all the way down there, that's about 370 feet away. So, yeah. Massive improvement. I'm keeping that one and those two white ones over there, and then a couple over there. So close.
This frontmost pile is allegedly the prime wood we are selling, minus the one oval shaped piece up top. This pile should hopefully pay for the trailer that I need to tow the tractor.
Monday, May 18th. and it's the final day. I'm clocking in. I let them go at it by themselves yesterday. I got to help out today. They're a man down, 2 men down right now. It's going to be done today. I'm very excited. That wood chip pile's huge. So we need a boom truck for one of these trees. It's the monster tree, but it's gonna fall in the street most likely unless we use something to knock it out of the way. It's hollow in the center. It's got like a big old notch taken out of it most of the way up. So, see that right there? So he can't really notch it when he cuts it. It's just gonna fall where it wants to fall. I'm gonna do my best to explain this. It's gonna be hard without being here, but corner post is here. Straight out to the road. That's the monster tree there. And then the one white oak here. So that means where the monster tree is could be the house. And then that brush pile there be the septic. And that doesn't come over to this white oak, which means that white oak could be the dividing line for where we start with, or even that white oak up there, that split one in a V, the one I want to keep in front of the leaning one. That could be the dividing line of actual non-profit starting that side, and then this small section over being the home. We'll see, but as of right now, I believe that's the plan. I got my good tree. The tree we're keeping about 20 feet in front of me. And its brother. So another big thing about what keeping certain trees is how much biodiversity lives in the treetops. For example, on this property, it's a lot of white oaks, and apparently they're home to a bunch, the tops of white oaks, way up there, are home to a bunch of different caterpillars. So that's really cool, because obviously then they turn into pollinators, which then pollinate the crop. So there's some science behind this. I just hope I'm doing it right, because it's kind of in a weird shape. So I guess we'll see. All right, so right now we need access to that tree. The issue is there's 2 downed trees blocking him from cutting it down. So we're going to use the skid steer loader to come grab him out of the way so he can drop this. This might be the biggest one on the property getting dropped. It's large, and it's next to this one that I'm keeping. That's a white oak that I want. That, I believe, is a willow oak. That might not, no, that might not be a willow oak. I don't know, but either way, that one's going, that one's staying. This skid steer has been a lifesaver down here. It does so much work. Well, today didn't wrap up like we expected. The skid steer loader blew a hydraulic line and we attempted to fix it to no avail. So I'm back home. Not sure when we're going to resume. He was renting the skid steer, so he's probably not going to rent it again because now he's losing money. He has a tractor he can bring. So they can't come tomorrow, and I believe the rest of the weekend is rain. I have to get down there and plant the rest of those wildflower seeds. I think it's just marigolds at this point. But so that's a wrap for now. I wanted this to be a completed video of complete transformation, but I'll have to wait a week. So loose agenda right now is video editing I have to do, and then probably start the tractor before the land is finished at this point. Get the tractor done, land should be done, sell the wood, buy a trailer, get the Ram Charger running, take the tractor down, and start doing work. I need to get a couple attachments for the tractor first, if I can find them used at a good price. But thanks for watching. Liking and subscribing helps. Hope to see you next time.